on in and take a vibe with us. Today, this is How Do You Heal with your girl, Jeni Calhoun. And today, I have a very, very special guest. I know y'all thinking, she always got a special guest, but I do. All of them are especially picked just for you all. I have Dr. Sonja Vaughn Carney with us today, and she is going to tell us everything about her and let you all know just a little piece of her story, because her story is so multi-dimensional. Like, she has endured so much and overcome so much that if she were to tell you everything, we would probably be here for a week just laughing and talking.
Oh, yeah.
And having a really great conversation. So give her a round of applause, you guys. Put some hearts in the chat and say hi. So how you doing, Doc?
I am blessed by the best, and I can't complain.
Come on now, you better
know
say
it.
it.
You know it.
Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So do you want to know what we're doing?
Yes.
So we're going to do a foot washing.
Okay.
And we're taking it old school today because I wanted to show, first of all, humility
Mhm.
and how powerful that is. And I want to love on you.
Oh, thank
Because you be pouring on everybody and loving on everybody and clearing everybody and ministering to everybody. And I wanted to take the opportunity to pour back into you, to heal you, and to love on you.
Oh, thank you.
Is that okay?
Yo, that's fine.
All right. All right. So we're going to get started. We're going to put you some little rose petals in here. Get us a little vibe going.
All right.
And so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, me personally, I truly feel like that then this was all of our lives who have been ordained by God for greatness. Not that we think that we're great, but that God have created us to be great.
Mm-hmm.
So the enemy gets in a hurry
Mm-hmm.
to cut you off at the stool.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in the Bible when they talked about when Moses was born, they said,
You can go ahead.
kill all of the newborns,
Mhm.
and that's what Satan tries to do with us, and that's what he tried to do with me. I was molested by my uncle from age 3 to right at 16, and then I wanted to get away from the molestation.
Mm-hmm.
So, unbeknownst to me, at age 16, I married a pedophile.
Whoa.
He impregnated my 13-year-old babysitter.
Oh
The
my.
baby was born on my birthday. And I thought God hated me.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look back on it, it was just the enemy trying to make me give up
Mm-hmm.
early in life.
Mm.
And I had a 3-year-old at the time, and I had married into money. And he told me, if you leave me, I'm gonna get my dad to take the baby.
Oh.
And so my firstborn was taken from me,
Oh my gosh.
and I ended up uh, getting hooked on crack. So,
Mm.
I smoked crack for 14 years, but I thank God August coming up,
Mhm.
it'll be 28 years clean. So,
Yes.
but when it comes down to sexual
Mm-hmm.
sins, that is the one sin that is pertaining to our bodies. But I like to teach people this, and I know I can't be the only one.
Mm-hmm.
When you're going through things like that when you're young,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that is confusing and that the enemy uses is shame and guilt. And that shame
Let's
and guilt
unpack
comes in.
that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
shame and guilt comes in because even though your mind knows that it's wrong what's happening to you,
Mm-hmm.
because we have an internal gauge
Mm-hmm.
that lets us know that something is off
Mm-hmm.
or wrong, but then your body is responding favorably.
Mm.
You still somebody play with you,
Mm-hmm.
you
You're
still
gonna
get
get
excited, you
aroused.
getting
Yeah.
aroused.
Yeah.
And so that's where the guilt and shame come
Mm-hmm.
in. And so I tell people all the time, I battled with that and
Yeah.
had to talk to my creator a lot about that because
Yeah.
I was stuck in guilt and shame, and that's what kept me smoking crack and having that $1,000 a day habit that I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to take care of. But then the Holy Spirit spoke to me.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "There's nothing wrong with you. Your body was designed to enjoy touch.
Yeah.
I designed it for that, but I designed it for the touch to come up under the covenant
Yeah.
and in marriage. So I I don't have to be shameful or feel guilty because my body was reacting.
Yeah.
See, nothing was wrong with me. It was
Mm.
something wrong with the person who was doing it to me.
Yeah.
And so I try to embrace people because the guilt and shame is what keeps you caught up. It
In
keeps
bondage.
you
Yeah.
in bondage. It
Mm.
keeps you suicidal.
Mm.
It keeps you
Blaming
drinking
yourself and
and blaming yourself
mhm.
and all of that. But when you just realize that, hey, nothing was wrong with me. My body was doing what it was supposed to do.
Mhm.
And that's not on me.
Yeah.
And once I did that and let that go, then the healing can start taking place.
Yeah. So we spoke earlier about forgiveness.
Yes.
And what it sounds like you're saying is that when you release that guilt and that shame, you forgave yourself
Oh, yeah.
from your body doing what it's naturally supposed to do.
Right.
And when you forgave yourself, that's when your healing journey really
Exactly.
started to unfold. That's profound.
Exactly. Because unforgiveness,
Mhm.
scientifically,
Mhm.
it brings on so much negativity to you, whether it's unforgiveness towards yourself or
Mhm.
others. We often say that unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
when you can't, and sometimes forgiving yourself is harder than forgiving others.
Mhm.
And when you can get to forgiving yourself and allowing God to mold you into the woman that He created you to be, and knowing this too, even though the things that happen to us is negative,
Mhm.
uh, they're awful,
Mhm.
God can still turn that thing around
Yep.
to have purpose in it.
Mm.
Because I believe, this
Mhm.
just me, I always tell people I'd rather go through something because I know that I can handle it.
Yeah. You're not the first person who said
You
that.
know?
That they would rather take it on because they have the tools and they're equipped to handle it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, because my pastor tells me all the time, Sonya, God can just what did he say? He can trust you with trouble.
Mhm.
And
Ooh.
so when we can be mature enough not to allow something to destroy us, but to make us stronger. And know that you don't get delivered or healed for yourself, it's for others.
Mm.
Because somebody else don't understand that, well, why did my body do that?
Mhm.
And so they run into me and I tell them nothing's wrong with your body.
Mm.
Just last week I was in another country and
Mhm.
I was speaking to a young lady who had been trafficked all her life and even after that had a baby at 18 and her and the baby was trafficked.
Mm. So
Um
how did that I know you were telling me a little bit about it earlier.
mhm,
Can you kind of tell that story a little more in depth so people can understand how the trafficking works like that?
yeah.
When you say all her life, you literally are
Mhm,
meaning all
all
her
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 life.
life.
Where her mom was being bred to have daughters because traffickers are getting smarter now. And I don't know if you know, but I've been doing international sex traffic rescue
Mhm.
for over 10 years now.
Wow.
And so um, they're getting smarter.
Mhm.
So it's harder for them to go kidnap women and traffic them now
Mhm.
because we have things set up at the airport. We got
Mhm.
things set up at the bus
Mhm.
station, in all of the bathrooms. If you even on the airplanes, in every portal in the on an airplane, it says if you're being trafficked, touch the button.
Yeah.
People may not
Yeah.
notice that on
But
the
it's
planes,
there.
but
Yeah.
it's there. And so now they're trying to get smarter.
Mhm.
So they're breeding. So they capture them and they're breeding, and you have to think, if somebody is trafficked all their life,
Mhm.
they tend to think that that's normal.
Mm. Oh my gosh. So it creates a sense of normalcy
Yeah.
around being trafficked. So what would they do with the boys? They would traffic the girls, but what would they do with the
Um,
sons if the
the
women had boys?
well, the young lady that I spoke with, last week
Mhm.
said that the boys were murdered,
Oh,
that they didn't keep the boys, you know.
so they were murdering the boys and
Mhm.
breeding the girls
Breeding the
to
girls.
be sex trafficked,
Mhm. Mhm.
selling off their innocence and virtue.
Mhm. Yeah.
And how did she get out? Did she say?
She escaped 2 years ago. She said her and her daughter,
Mm,
they were being transported somewhere else, and she found a window of escape.
mm.
And, that's why I love
Does
the
she even
words.
have an identity? Like, how are they getting Social Security numbers and like
I've talked to him throughout the years of me
yeah.
being a rescuer. Almost every situation is different.
Mhm.
In her case, because I talked to her extensively last week, in her case, they homeschool everybody.
Oh.
So everybody's being homeschooled, and you will be surprised too at the traffickers.
Mhm.
I do remember about 5 or 6 years ago, right before COVID, and I was in Abu Dhabi,
Mhm.
and we was rescuing someone, and the captor actually was captured, and
What?
he had on a suit, a tie, and I had the chance to speak with them, and I
Mhm.
said, they said that you have daughters.
Wow.
Why would you do other women like that? He said it's just business.
He
And
said it's
it's
just
just business.
business.
So what's happening is the world is getting so bad, um, morally,
Mm.
that people are disconnecting themselves from humanity.
Mhm.
Because if I don't see you as a human,
Mhm.
I can mistreat you if
Wow.
I don't see you as human in the first place.
Wow.
So we have to start putting human faces back on people
Mm.
so that we can get back to loving one another
Yeah.
and loving one another in a healthy place,
Yeah.
you know.
So, what are some things like some tips that you can give someone who is on their journey to healing? They're at zero, ground zero, and they don't know what first step to take or what to do. What are some things that you could suggest?
The first thing that we need to always do is pray,
Come on.
number one.
All right.
You gotta have a prayer life,
Yeah.
so that you can get a vision. I'm talking to someone who may still be caught up in it,
Yeah.
because we did research also. It's just like domestic violence.
Hmm.
You get a woman out of domestic violence, and then you see her 5 years later, and she's in another domestic violence situation just with another person.
Wow.
So we have to make sure that we retrain ourselves,
Hmm.
because we get in a pattern. If you've been trafficked all your life, that's all you
Mm.
know,
So you're
then
gonna
you're drawn to it,
to
because you got to
traffickers.
understand that everything in this life is spiritual.
Mm.
Everything is
Hmm.
spiritual. And different spirits will suck you back in.
Mm.
So you have to redo everything. It's like being born again.
Mm. Literally, huh?
Yeah, and
Almost literally.
so that you can put that stinking thinking away. It's just what I had to do even to get off of crack.
Hmm.
You have to put up borders for yourself
Hmm.
so that you don't get caught back up in that particular lifestyle, because it's easy to do.
It is. Now, what are some lessons or maybe some new ways of being that we as a village
Mhm.
could use to help support people who are dealing with being sexually abused, who maybe been trafficked for their life? I mean, most times we just, hear their stories, we're sad for the moment, and then we go on
Yeah,
with our lives and we don't think of how the traumatic experiences that they have
that
impact
lingers.
everything
Mhm.
that they do, even in the workplace or even at church or even when they're out with their friends now or they're
Yeah.
making friends or even having seeking to have a family. Like, how do we create a safe space, or what are some things that we maybe need to be mindful
The
for as a
first
village?
thing that we need to do is open our eyes up.
Mm,
Take blinders off.
mhm,
You may have a pedophile right next door.
mhm,
So we need to really, really, really pay attention to our children,
mhm.
not just girls, but boys too. The rise is little white boys between the age of 8 and 10,
What?
because the more you get your morals go down further and further. At first, you wanted a woman, so they start doing prostitution.
Mhm,
Well, then that doesn't fit anymore. So now you want a child,
mhm,
a young girl. Now the girls ain't doing. So now we done switched over. Now I want a man.
mm.
You know, a man want a man or a woman want a woman. So it's getting worse and worse and worse. But the first thing that we can do, we are our brother and sister's keepers.
Yes, we are.
Pay attention. Pay attention to the kids. One thing that I see a lot of is when you have a straight A student who goes to making F's like that,
Mhm.
something's wrong.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
Yeah. What
When
about behavioral
Yeah,
issues in school?
behavioral issues in school. When you see a child, I pay attention when I'm driving in the morning on bus stops. You know, I'm looking to see who look like they're just distraught. Cause kids don't look like that.
Yeah.
But when they are drawn in and when they're being abused physically or sexually,
Mhm.
it's on them, but we're not paying attention. We need to
Mm.
open our eyes up and pay attention
Mm.
and say something.
And say something.
Mhm.
How do we create a safe environment for them to open up? Let's say you're around and you notice that your neighbor's child, or maybe one of your children's friends, is a little withdrawn. You can't quite figure out what it is, but something's off. How do you create the environment for them to feel safe enough to open up to you?
Well, you actually, I know this gonna sound crazy, but you actually have to do the same thing that the groomer is doing.
Oh, wow.
Because pedophiles, they groom their kids. You know, they don't just go sexually abuse them on the first day, they groom them.
Mm,
And then you seeing something different, you have to not groom them,
mhm.
but you have to try to become their friend to allow them to feel like they're in a safe place to tell
Yeah.
you that
That
something is going wrong. Or if you see something, say, "Hey, I didn't like the way that he touched your leg. Does he touch your leg like that all the time?" I saw something last week that I think that we need to implement as well with our children. There was something on TikTok or somewhere that I saw that the mother was saying, "Safe touch, bad
yeah.
touch. Safe touch, bad touch." You know, we need to implement that.
The differences between
The
what's a good
good
touch
touch
and
and
what's
what's
a
a bad
bad
touch.
touch. Yeah, and if even if you don't know the words, you don't know what's being done to you,
Right.
at least you know that it was a bad
Bad
touch.
touch.
Yes.
And that's where we start.
Yes, so communicating with our children as early as possible to begin to
Yes.
teach them, "Hey, these are the areas of your bodies that nobody is allowed to touch.
Mhm.
If something happens, come and talk to me."
Right, right,
Okay?
and just have that open line of communication. And the other thing too is, um, there's a difference when children are being curious with each other.
Mhm.
Like, I saw some movie one time, the little boy and little girl, you know, they're 5 and,
Yeah.
you know, that's different,
Mhm.
but not to overreact when things
Mm.
happen.
Ooh, now that's one, because we were talking about the humping and the
Yeah,
fondling and the touching as
yeah.
kids. How do you handle that without
Well,
overreacting?
you don't overreact, but
Mhm,
you educate the child.
mm,
Ask them, "Where did you see that at?"
mhm.
You know, because a lot of times it's seen behavior.
Yes, it is.
So the seen behavior is what we need to put in check.
Mhm.
But the 5-year-old, the 6-year-old, they're just being curious kids.
Yeah.
But where did you get it from? And that's who
Mhm.
we need to put in check.
So getting to the source,
Right.
because I had talked to somebody a while back, and they were telling me that some of the first things that they noticed, sexually was through pornography. They saw their parents watching pornography, kind of walked
Yeah,
in, and when they saw that, it was almost like it was a gateway into kind of the underworld
most
of
definitely.
perversion.
Mhm.
This spirit of perversion kind of happened because then they wanted to imitate or emulate what they saw on the pornography.
Exactly.
And it kind of awakened something in them that was not there prior to that exposure.
Well, you gotta remember what I just said.
Mhm.
Everything is spiritual.
Mhm.
So everything has a spiritual door,
Mhm.
and, some doors, don't need to be opened at that
Yeah.
age. But when we see things happening, we need to nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable. That's not what we do, and no one should be touching you that in that manner, and you shouldn't touch anyone in that manner.
Now I want to ask you something. In society, from what I've noticed being a survivor myself, the world has a tendency to in America, because I know in other countries it may be a little bit different, but where I live, they have a tendency to ostracize the victim and to protect the predator. And oftentimes the predator is has money and influence and is
Exactly.
charming and does things for everybody and everybody loves them. So it's hard. It seems to be difficult for people to even want to believe the victim
Right.
or to even be able to rally behind them. If they know that they're not lying, they would rather just not say anything at all and keep moving on as if it was never ever, as if it
Exactly.
never happened, they never knew about it, just to still have the relationship with that predator. So
Right.
is that normal, or how do
Well,
we work
it
through?
is, but I'm gonna tell you what I do.
Mhm.
Because, as I said before, my first husband was a pedophile, still is a pedophile.
Mhm.
I had explained to his, wife, when they were dating, because she had 2 girls.
Mm.
I said, "Listen, he's a pedophile. Oh, you just want my man."
Oh, wow.
And then once that child turned 18 and moved out of the house, she had said that he had messed with her
Mm.
the entire time, and I don't hold punches with him. I still talk to him, do they taxes, but I'm like, "Why are you with that little girl? You know better than" you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because pedophiles are getting smarter. They're doing
Mhm.
things a little different. That's why it's so important for us to open up our eyes to see and to call it out.
Yeah.
And so we need to know how to speak truth to power. I don't care how much money you have.
Yeah.
I don't care who family you come from. If I find out that something's going on, then I'm gonna tell it and I'm gonna yell it from the rafters because everybody don't know how to come out and still thrive
Yeah.
after that happens.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people who commit suicide
Yeah.
because of that. A lot of people never develop into who they're supposed to be because you cut them off when they was a child
Yeah.
and you had them thinking it was their fault. The other thing that I want to say is it's so important also to tell our children and make them feel safe enough that it doesn't matter if they tell you they're going to hurt me
Mhm.
or nobody's going to believe you.
Mhm.
Tell it anyway.
Yeah.
But the people, they're just liars and manipulators, and so we got to get better at it.
Yeah, we gotta get better at it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You have dropped so many gems today. I don't even know if we can pick them all up. So I know I'm probably gonna have to go back and watch this segment over and over again just to make sure that I'm able to extract the gems out of what it is that you're saying. And I love how you've already been working in that space. You didn't let your story end with being on drugs or being molested. You didn't let your story end there. You took your power back and you began to then empower other people. It's almost like you use your light to light all of our lights around you. And so I thank you so much for that.
God bless.
I appreciate it. I thank you for the work. If nobody ever says they love you, they value you, they appreciate the work that you've done, thank you, because you are a trailblazer, and you are teaching us how we're supposed to move through the world. And we don't have any type of guidance on what we're supposed to do
Yeah.
without people like you.
To God be the glory.
To God be the glory.
Yes.
Well, let me get your toes on up out of here. We didn't even get no tea, honey, because the conversation was so hot. Mm, mm, mm. Now you're gonna
It's
be
a
nice and
blessing.
moisturized.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
And just I appreciate it so much. We got so much other things to unpack. I hope you would join us again. So on how do we heal, so we can talk about what else we need to do,
Yeah.
and then maybe come up with a game plan. Because I know you go into the prisons
Oh, yeah.
too, and I know there are so many stories, so many things that you've seen outside of that.
I tell you something else too as you're wrapping up.
Mhm.
Get therapy.
Yes.
I have a therapist and a psychiatrist.
Come on now.
Because no matter how far away you get from your trauma,
Mhm.
life still happens.
Yes, it does.
And it's okay. And us as a culture, we've never wanted to go to therapy. We're
Mm.
supposed to be these strong black women.
Mhm.
But I found that just talking um helps.
Yeah.
So go to
Just getting
therapy.
it out.
Go to therapy.
Don't think you have to hold on to it.
No.
Get you a good therapist. We had an amazing therapist on the show already, Crystal Owens, and she talked about different healing modalities like EMDR and really have you ever done EMDR?
No, I don't think so.
So do you do just talk therapy where they
I
talk it
do
out?
talk therapy
Mhm.
and I do a lot of journaling,
Oh,
so that's how I write my books.
good. So you
Yeah.
just get it out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
That was my healing. My first book, From Prison to Praise, my life story of being an overcomer, that was such a healing process.
Yeah.
Because while writing, I remembered things that I had forgotten
Mm.
because our brains is so intricate that it buries things so that we can survive.
Mhm. Good. So where can people get that book? Cause I got it back in the day when you was on the circuit, baby, but where can everybody else get it?
Well, I have 3 books out now,
Oh,
but
I'm behind.
they're on, Amazon, From Prison to Praise.
Mhm,
That's my favorite book because that's the book um, that kinda set me free,
mhm.
you know? But, then I have, Enjoy Your Journey,
Mm.
and then I did a trilogy, with I Am a Woman Empowered. Yes.
Yes. Well, guys, jump down on Amazon and make sure you get those books. Begin to journal. I hope you're following us on all of our social media sites and using those journal prompts because although we are in studio and we're talking and we're able to dive deep, you can join us on your own journey by following those journal prompts. Get in the comments, talk to us, reach out to the people who are on the show, buy her book so that you too could find your peace, find your joy, and you can overcome what you've been through. Guys, I thank you so much for joining us. As always, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Dr. Sonja Vaughn Carney, for joining us. You
God
know I love
bless.
you. Ever
I
since
love you.
Beauty Behind
I
Bars,
know.
you are such a powerhouse.
Mm.
Such a powerhouse. I love being around you and hearing you minister because it's almost like the Holy Spirit come out of you and just knock us down. So I appreciate you. Keep doing the work. Guys, I love you. Stay with us. We love you.